Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the comeback player of the year, Andrew Luck, and the Indianapolis Colts as they do battle with the reigning MVP of the National Football League, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out now to lead the Colts, Andrew Luck in his 7th year now out of Stanford. A season ago, 39 touchdown passes. That might win a title most years, but he was second to Patrick Mahomes in 2018. This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
Brian Kelly's a great example of how valuable the centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the second and third level and deliver blocks.
And he gets it to Funchess complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't it? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Luck. And he's going to go down again. Flying in to blow that play up, Alex Okafor.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. Luck now to throw. They'll run the screen with Mack. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taken in at the 22. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. So here are the Chiefs now under their veteran head coach, Andy Reid. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
Partner, you know how guys always tell us it's not about the numbers, it's about the win. It's about the numbers, too. Almost 400 yards passing by him last week. What can he do in this one?
Well, earned him AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Maybe he'll try to get 400-plus here and duplicate that honor again. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved. Able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people, and right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
He'll get this up to the 34, and a good lane opening up right away for him. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Yeah, what do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Mahomes on target here to Hardman. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 20-yard line. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Travis Kelce, the all-pro tight end, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Williams. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. The starters now on the defensive side of the ball for Indianapolis. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And I know, just like me, you're fired up about this one because this is the irresistible object and the immovable force. They're going head-to-head, number 1 versus number 1. I've talked about that running backs renaissance for a while. Can they slow these guys down? Where's my helmet? I want to...
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. The numbers from last week's game for Ebron. 6 catches, 83 yards, and a touchdown.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This crew against the pass, issues at times, ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Luck looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Watch out for Hill on the return. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Dancing to his left. He'll run it. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So he wanted to pass it, but that thing turned out much better.
And the crowd really responded, didn't they? They always like it better when the quarterback who's scrambling around actually takes off and runs downfield. And that's exactly what he did.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Mahomes now to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was all capped by Patrick Mahomes using his legs to get in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
I got him.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Tyrann Mathieu, normally known for the pass coverage, this time a sack.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And out of bounds. This will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. Damian Williams and the Chiefs ready to begin their next drive. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. Now, a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Danico Autry forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. When plays break down, that's normally when Mahomes is at his best throwing the football. But as we saw, he can run it too. Last year, 60 carries, 272 yards. Great elusiveness and speed. And the Chiefs obviously don't want him to be a running quarterback. But if he sees an angle like he did there, any opening, he has the ability to take it and run. Now here's Mahomes. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The extra point up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Andrew Luck and the rest of the Colts offense ready to take over. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Quick throw here to Hilton. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. Now Sammy Watkins and the rest of the offense getting set to go again. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and
that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 77 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Butker on for the PAT. And the lead is now 24. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
Let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the gun, here's Luck. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. But now it'll be 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Here's Hill on the return. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. So here are the Chiefs to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now Mahomes escaping the pressure right. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a 1st down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
I'm here all day.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
198. Watch 98. 98 from Mike.
And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him...
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Carlos Hyde, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we get to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is, his first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 27, Luck. Ebron with it over the middle. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Funchess has it complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports.